Hey, all of it, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Tomorrow is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. We are celebrating. All Tuesday long, we'll play 2 songs from your favorite artists. And then we'll give you a chance to win tickets to not 1, but 2 different shows every 2 hours. That begins with 2 dudes, BJ and Miggs, tomorrow morning. It is Tuesday.
And everyone
tickets as well.
Everyone will be wearing tutus.
Yeah.
You didn't know that, yeah.
It's a 2-2 Tuesday.
2-2 Tuesday.
We got code words and everything. We'll give you the code word. You're going to
Should be Desmond Tutu.
Exactly. Why not? Join us tomorrow for Tuesday right here on The Rock. Hopefully you'll get into one of those great shows we're offering tickets to. All right, it is our random question. Question 206-421-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Candy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola. Hello, Candy.
Hello.
Okay, Candy, let's see what we got for you. All right, Candy, how did you hurt yourself?
I didn't listen to my instincts. My sister said, go ahead and take the horse down that rock face wall. If she can make it, and that didn't turn out so well.
What exactly happened?
Yeah. I held on as long as I could. And the horse, she was very sweet, but she couldn't help me. And I fell off straight onto a sharp, like a humpback rock directly on my side and fractured my spine a little bit and was out of commission for about a month.
Yeah.
Damn.
You didn't break any ribs?
And I didn't break any ribs, but it was worse than childbirth. And I have a little permanent numbness there on my left hip area. And the horse was on top of me by the time it was all over and said and done, but she didn't even step on me.
Okay. Have you ridden a horse since?
Yep, I sure have. Horse people don't give up on that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
How long is your hair, horsewoman?
It's long.
Of course.
Is it in a big braid?
No, it's wild.
Okay.
Why don't people with short hair, women with short hair, seem to ride horses? I mean, for whatever reason, it just seems like if you ride a horse and you're female, you have long hair.
Huh? I don't know what that is. I guess people that ride horses, women, they're wild and free, so they let their hair be wild and free. That's my only thought.
But horsewomen, they also have to feel like that every man's penis is just not that impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you've seen a horse, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're always around Wilt the stilt,
right?
You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, the next moment, it's like, what is that?
That's what you're working with. Okay, that's cute.
Good luck.
Let's get this done.
Reason we asked, how did you hurt yourself? A car in Fort Lauderdale, Florida was pulled over last Tuesday night. It's unclear what the problem was, but someone in the car must have felt like they were in trouble because they jumped out and started running. The officer chased the suspect. Then at some point, the guy actually shot himself in the foot. Other reports say he actually shot himself in his leg.
Whatever.
So it wasn't too hard for the officer to catch up with him and then applied a tourniquet to the wound. He was taken to the hospital. His condition is unknown. It's unclear what the charges are, but he'll probably get at least 1 for resisting arrest, but there's probably something more on the books if he's thinking that he's,
Random.
If you jump out of the car and run away because they pulled you over, there's something else coming.
Do you have the same status of being shot if you shoot yourself?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody takes a bullet, you're like, wow, you were shot, dude. And then they say, well, I shot myself. You
don't tell them that you shot yourself.
Okay.
You just say that I was shot.
Aha.
That would be my angle, right? I got to go to jail. Like, I took a bullet. So what?
I'm with you. Yeah, I know what it's like. I got shot in the leg. How it happened. Like, I don't talk about it.
I was running from the cops. That's all you need to know, homie.
You shot yourself, didn't you?
Yes. Yes. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Sarah, welcome to the program. Random question. Thank you for calling us on this President's Day. All right, let's hear this one, Sarah. You're going to need to name as many presidents as you possibly can in 30 seconds. No George Washington, no Abraham Lincoln, in 3, in 2, and in 1.
Oh, God. Bush, Obama, Nixon, that one that we won't mention that we pretend was the president, Jefferson, Adams, both of them. Goddamn remembering things I can't remember. Garfield, Polk.
Ooh, I'm digging deep now.
10.
Well, I'm not working, so I can't think much deeper than this.
That's not bad.
All right,
That was 10 in 30 seconds.
First guy got 5.
Yeah, you doubled that. So that's not bad at all.
Did you count the ones where I said them twice?
Yes.
Like Adams
Bush
and
and
Bush?
Bush. We got them
Both
all.
Bushes, both Adams.
We got all 10 for you.
And I'll tell you what, I'll give you a random question as well, okay?
Random.
Where would you say is your favorite place to get a delicious burger? If you have a craving for a burger, where is your spot that you want to go and get a hamburger?
Oh, I have 3.
Okay.
Jack's in West Seattle.
Okay. All right.
Jack's makes a great hamburger.
Great burger.
The Mill in Milton.
I don't know if I know that one.
It's a good place to go. And then my husband actually works at Crockett's.
And where's Crockett's located?
That's down in Puyallup. You guys talked about it, I think, about a week ago with being on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Oh, good on you.
okay.
Right. Oh, wow, that's very cool. So they're probably slammed.
Always. Actually, my husband texted me earlier, please have a beer and a shot ready for me for when I get home.
Okay, yeah.
So that kind of
Guy
day.
Fieri will do that to you.
So
man.
did your husband get any TV time when Guy Fieri was there or no?
No, he's only been working there for, I think, about a year, but walked out of one place and walked down the street and got a job that same day.
That's the beauty of working in restaurants.
And it's called...
I'm going to go next door and get a job.
And it's called... did you say it was called Crockett's?
Crockett's.
Is that the public house?
And then Trackside Pizza is also a part of that same restaurant group.
Oh, yeah. That's what Mike's always talking about. He loves Trackside.
Oh, no, they're fabulous. There's one of the few places that actually does delivery that we're willing to go to.
So how many times a week do you think you eat a burger?
I don't. I don't unless my husband's making them at home. It's rare. We had one last night because we were at Jack's with the families, but that was about it.
Okay.
It looks like they got good food, man. Their crispy chicken sandwich looks all right.
Yeah, better than what I
Eat it all.
have.
Look at
Just go take the time, eat through the menu.
Look how delicious that is.
Yeah, I won't say
tough
the place.
question,
What? Best place to get your favorite place to get a burger?
Yeah.
It depends on what type of burger I'm joking.
Like I love Red Mill.
She was right about Jack's, and any other steakhouse you go to. You know, you think you're going to a steakhouse to get a steak, but if you just want to pop in for like
Happy hour or something.
yeah,
like
something
that.
like that, or in the afternoon, sit at the bar. There's nothing wrong with getting a
I
hamburger.
mean, I had one Saturday, that Sharp's Roast House down by the airport. That place, their burgers are awesome.
Is that the place you were going on about? Like
Yeah.
you went there with your mom or something and said, look, it is not an ideal location, but it's
and
that
nobody
good.
knows it's there if you're a local. It's mostly just people going in and out of the airport.
And what's
But
the name again?
Sharp's Roast House. It is delicious.
I really think that Seattle,
those, potato creamers.
Seattle has some of the better local franchised hamburger places.
Sure.
Obviously,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
Dick's. If you grew up on Dick's, you're going to love Dick's. But I mean,
But that's the other thing too. Like Thrill's saying, like to me, there's like fast food.
Right.
Then there's like I love a Dick's Deluxe. There's also like Kid Valley and Red Mill.
which are both great.
love Kid
And
Valley.
then you get to like sit down.
Little Woody's makes a good hamburger. So
Little
like,
Woody's got a good one.
all the local little places. You know what I mean? I think they do an outstanding job. That 8-ounce burger used to be great.
8-ounce burger's good.
There was one in Ballard. I'm not sure if
That
it's still down
lunchbox
there.
lavatory.
The
That's
truth is
fantastic.
laboratory. I don't know if they would do so well.
Hey, we named the show the men's room. So
Lunchbox
can't really make,
Laboratory.
sausage, right?
can't
Yeah.
make fun of them. You know?
But it's funny because when I go to Lunchbox Laboratory, I get their version of the Dick's Deluxe.
Right. Exactly.
yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic combination.
Loretta's is supposed to be the spot, but I have not been there yet.
I think it's tougher to think of a place where you had a burger and hated it. You know what I mean? Like,
but I just think they
a
do-
burger's like pizza. Like, some are better than others without question, but I've rarely bitten into a burger and just thought, this is crap.
Yeah, there's a place down in Tacoma that's been, it's like not a Tasty Freeze, but it's kind of got that old school Dick's Drive-In.
They're famous for them.
But it's got a different kind of burger. That's a great place to get a burger.
Man, look, I still love the Robin, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Red Robin, thank you. For those of us that have kids and we have to wait 20 goddamn minutes to sit down, we can't just go to the bar, right? Red Robin would be my top choice. Like, look, if I got to wait to sit down because the kids are with us, at least I know I like their food. Most of the time I'm waiting 20 minutes. Like, say, yesterday, not a fan of the food I had.
Yeah, well,
I won't say where. It's a very popular chain. The kids wanted to go. We take the kids.
Hell, man.
20-minute wait, and we sat down. I just kept looking at my wife like, this is not going to be worth the heartburn.
But I'm jonesing for a Big Mac, man. It's like, I got to get a Big Mac. Within like 48 hours, I need to get one. Like, when I start thinking about it, I'm like, oh, got to get a Big Mac.
By the way, Ted, just so you know, Sharps by the Airport started out as a Kenny Rogers roaster.
Oh, no kidding.
I miss the Kenny Rogers roasters of the world.
And you're thinking Frisco Freeze and Tacoma.
Frisco Freeze.
Apparently, everyone in Tacoma is chiming in right now to let you know.
That's a great spot. That's a great place. The reason we asked, where's your favorite place to get a burger? 4 people were injured, including an 8-year-old girl, when a vehicle crashed into a Five Guys restaurant in Massachusetts. Police say the crash happened at 1:45 at the Five Guys. Photos taken by the scene show a Jeep Compass that crashed into the dining area of the restaurant. They were fairly crowded, by the way, at the time of the crash, according to police.
That's Five Guys.
29-year-old woman was transported to area hospitals. See, that's what sucks, man. You just got your food. You just sat down.
Or you're waiting. I mean, either way, like if you're at Five Guys, that is where you want to be.
Police said the 8-year-old girl and her father refused transport to a hospital to seek medical treatment.
That means Dad's like, no.
I'd like to see the conversation with that 8-year-old kid. You want to go to the hospital? No.
I want a burger.
Nobody wants to go to the hospital. You're not wrong. The damage caused by the Jeep that crashed into Five Guys restaurant is supposed to be pretty substantial. It's going to be closed for a while. According to police, the driver of the Jeep appeared to be pulling into a parking spot and accelerated, going through the windows of the restaurant. That caused the vehicle and glass to strike people inside. Police said the driver, a woman in her 40s, was not impaired. Authorities did not say whether the driver would face any charges in connection with the crash.
Do you just suck at driving that bad? I just assumed there was something wrong with the driver. Like, she's fine. We just shouldn't have given her a license.
Exactly.
Random.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Mike, welcome to the program. Ran a question. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing good. You know, it's President's Day, Mike. And you got 30 seconds to name as many presidents as you can, with the exception of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, in 3 and 2 and 1.
Let's go Obama. Let's go Trump. We'll go Biden. Oh, man.
You named the 3 most recent. That's a good start.
Yeah.
There were 43 before that.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Happy President's Day.
You got 3.
Happy President's Day, right?
Okay, 3.
We've asked 3 people, and it's kind of funny, just like... Right, and I can't, like, he's right. For some reason, I never think the name of the most recent ones, and then also I'm like, how's nobody said Reagan yet? Like, we've had Carter.
Oh, we had Ford.
Yeah, we had Ford.
Well, they just skipped around. I'm like, yeah.
Like, when I was a kid, I just assumed he was president forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're a kid.
Right, because what's it, 88, he finally has to.
Right.
All right, Mike, let's go with this random question for you. What smelled horrible? What do you remember just having the worst smell ever?
Oh, it had to have been my son's first diaper after he started eating big boy food, adult food. Oh,
Yeah.
that was the worst.
Mm-hmm. Very mustardy.
Because it starts smelling like human poop. Mm-hmm. You know, before that, baby poop's baby poop.
Gross. Like the whole first situation of the poop was fine. It was, it was awkward colored and whatnot. But as soon as the food that we eat started getting in their system, it was just
Yeah.
I had to look at my wife and go, no, babe, sorry.
There's a couple smells that I remember distinctly that are just, and they were both from high school. One was the smell of your practice bag if you played football with your practice gear in that. Typically, that was only washed once a week.
Right.
By the time Friday got around, it was just unbearable to put on. And we had a dress in full gear even on Friday. Right. Like back then, it was like high school football. You're going to run sprints the night before the game. We don't even care. If you're playing a Saturday night or whatever. The smell of the wrestling room.
The wrestling,
mats in it, and the doors closed because they would try to cut weight a lot of times. They wouldn't really ventilate
right.
necessarily the rooms all the time.
Plus, you're wiping them down with like Clorox and stuff afterwards.
It's just ripe. The locker room is ripe. You walk in there, and it's, especially with high school kids. I mean, you don't realize
you already stink
how bad you smell at that age, but you reek. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to put all those people together in one area with their clothes, and most people were not responsible. There were guys that were on the defensive line that on purpose would not take their clothes to get washed just so they could offend the guys when they were scrimmaging on the offensive line. Just they wanted to smell as bad as they possibly can just to give them some crap.
I think mine is bad crab meat, man. Just, I cannot explain it. And it's worse because no one knew it was bad. No one anticipated that it was bad. Restaurant's busy. Everyone's running around. Guy runs and walk in. He hands it to me. I pop it open. And I mean, the whole kitchen just stopped. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Reason we asked what smelled horrible. Jacksonville, Florida has a big problem. Something in the city has been stinking up the place, and it's not the Jacksonville Jaguars. It is unclear where the odor first arrived, but they've been dealing with it for years. And over the past 18 months, there have been more than 2,800 complaints. Some people just know the smell is going to be there, but it's gotten so bad that people are complaining. So the city has set up now a network of 13 sensors throughout the Jacksonville area. Officials believe the smell might be coming from chemicals called volatile organic compounds, which can be released from manufacturing facilities, but they don't know yet for sure. It could be something completely unrelated. The sensors should help them pinpoint what is in the air at locations where the city reeks the most. Then they're going to combine that data with info from 2 local weather stations and try to figure out, quote, where is the odor wafting from?
So it's that bad.
Where else do you use the term wafting? Other than for
science lab?
Yeah,
that's where you're supposed to use it.
Like, use wafting in a sentence.
Like you would, like if there's something, you want to waft it over so you could smell it, but you don't want to put your face above like a beaker or something.
Okay, so you're just kind of fanning it in.
Yeah.
That is a true definition of a...
Jacksonville itself, though, has a lot of things going against it. Number one, it's hot.
Yes, it's very hot.
It's next to a beach, and like bays and stuff.
Right.
Like, that's already, like, tides going in and out already brings up some unique smells.
Yeah, low tide in a hot place is a very unique thing.
Yeah, like I love walking down like your old neighborhood, right? Go down Sculpture Garden and stuff. But in the summertime, when that tide's out low, you're like, damn.
God damn, it smells.
See, it makes me want to go get oysters. I smell that low tide. I'm like, oh man, I could go for half dozen oysters. I don't know why. It just smells like
I mean, I know what you mean. I don't know that I think. And now I'm hungry. There's rarely do those two things.
No, I'm dead serious, man. Whenever I smell it, I'm like, yeah, let's go get some oysters.
Hello, Rob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. Rob, welcome to the program. Random question. See what we have here for you. All right, Rob. What do you own that surprises other people? What do you own that surprises other people?
I have a sword collection.
How many swords?
6 at this point.
All right. And are they all like medieval style, or are they Japanese style, or does it run the gamut?
It runs the gambit, and only 2 of them would actually be able to be used in combat because only 2 of them have a full tang. The other ones are wall ornaments.
Okay.
What is the difference in price from the ones that are actual swords compared to the replicas?
The replicas are usually more because they are you're talking movie replicas or historical replicas where the combat-ready swords are...
2 things. What sword are you most proud of that you own, and what sword would you like to buy if you could?
I have the Conan the Barbarian sword, and I would love to get the Excalibur sword from the movie Excalibur.
How much would that cost?
$600.
All right. It's not crazy.
Less than I thought.
Now, look, if somebody breaks in your house, would you grab the sword?
I would probably throw 1 or 2 of the wall ornaments at them and pick up one of the other ones.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, that'd be enough for me.
If I came in your house and I see you with a sword, I'm like, I picked the wrong place.
Yeah, this guy's crazy.
I picked the wrong place to break into, yeah. Reason we asked, what do you own that surprises other people? A 67-year-old man in Kosovo recently showed up at the hospital and said he'd been having swelling in his groin for about a decade. Doctors didn't know what the issue was, but thought it might be maybe a hernia. He also told them he only had one of his family jewels and the other one never descended, so they thought that maybe that might have something to do with it too. Turns out they were a little right and a whole lot wrong. He did have a hernia, in fact, but he also had a uterus. When they did the surgery to fix the hernia, they found the missing family jewel, but also found a uterus, a cervix, a fallopian tube, and one ovary. It turned out he was born with male and female reproductive organs, which is really rare. What he has is called persistent Mullerian duct syndrome. And only 200 cases have ever been recorded.
Damn.
They removed everything that shouldn't be there, and apparently he's doing just fine now, even though he went 67 years without being diagnosed. It didn't affect him in the baby-making department. The guy's already got 3 kids. So
well, that's a weird one. Hey, baby, I just went to the doctor. Nope, turns out not too bad. It's not cancer or anything. I just have an ovary and a fallopian tube and a uterus.
I got a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff that you have.
More of the random question coming up. 206-421-ROCK.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back is all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence. Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence. If you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
At Avocado, we believe everyone deserves a safe, healthy mattress and a great night's sleep. That's why we're so excited to introduce our new Eco-Organic mattress, starting at just $6.99 with easy financing and made with the same incredibly comfortable, naturally cool materials you've come to expect from Avocado. It's a radically affordable, certified organic mattress held to the highest standards of social and environmental responsibility. Organic sleep awaits at avocadomattress.com.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
It is our random question. 206-421-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Jared. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
Jared, welcome to the program. Random question. Happy President's Day to you, man.
You too, guys.
Yeah. All right, Jared. Here's what we're doing. All right.
People aren't used to saying that, Miles. You really like
Happy President's Day. It's a big day today.
You can say, but for some reason, President's Day saying Happy President's Day.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what?
Jared, here's what you're going to do. With the exception of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, name as many presidents as you can in 3, in 2, and in 1.
Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Quincy Adams, Madison, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden.
Oh! You were the right guy to play the game. Well, we have one hair to split with you. We said other than Washington or Lincoln. We're so sorry.
Take 2 off there.
So we can only accept 44 of the 46 that you put forward.
Yeah, okay.
Damn, I'm sorry.
So how long have you been able to do that?
Since junior year of high school.
That's impressive.
It wasn't for like a competition or something like that?
Naming all the presidents was my history final, and the girl that I liked at the time made it into a song, and I was really trying to get into some of that, so I learned the song pretty quickly.
You learned the presidents in the pursuit of ass. There is nothing vagina can't do.
She's trying to get in the Oval Office.
Okay, your random question is a little bit of a hypothetical, but a lot of people think that they can do it after watching the Olympics. What Olympic sport do you think that you would be the best at? That you could actually step in on a team?
Is this winter or summer?
Either one.
Okay.
Either one.
Oh.
I think I could do the snowboarding. I'm a pretty good snowboarder.
All right.
Okay.
Which like
Which
slalom?
discipline? Because some of the stuff we saw them doing this year, which actually was very cool. Anything that was X Games inspired for the Olympics, I tend to find much more interesting.
Sure. It's like dropping into that big bowl. Could you do that?
Probably. I might fall on my ass a few times, but I can still do it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even get that far.
When I watch those guys drop in with skateboards on parks and stuff, and it's that straight wall down. I mean, you look at that, and that's so much bigger and severe. It's just like I just don't think I can get myself to go over.
Pick? I'm trying to think. I mean, to have look, there's no chance any of us are going to medal. It's not that, but just where you're not laughed at the end of the competition. I honestly can't think of one. Right? You can say running because everyone can run, but then the flip side is your speed is nowhere near these guys.
But you're not near, as I'm saying, even if you're on a bobsled team, you're not going to be able to keep up with the guys who are pushing the sled and jump in.
No chance. I mean,
I feel like 2-man, maybe I could just push from the back and jump in.
But there's
the front guy's got to drive.
Right.
No, there is. I'm trying to think of a winter, like everybody says curling, but I really got into it towards the end there. And there's a lot more going on there than you think.
As far as your strategy and everything else.
And just what you're actually doing. You know what I mean? Like when they're sweeping away debris from one side, so hopefully it like curves back in. Right. But yeah, some of those guys have been doing it for 16, 17 years and then make an Olympic team.
Huh. Okay. All right.
Summer Olympics? I don't know. I mean, maybe a shot put?
Okay. And again, because I thought of like some of the track and field things, I'm like, but how far do you think you could throw it versus the people we see? In other words, are you Eddie the Eagle from England? If you don't know, Eddie the Eagle was an English skier back in the 80-something Olympics, all right? And this guy, no one can tell you who won the gold medal that year in the ski jump, but everyone remembers Eddie the Eagle because this dude could not. He was so bad, he made everyone feel they could be part of the Olympics. But that became his allure. They're like Eddie the Eagle. And everyone would gather around the TV if you knew he'd ski jump because it was so bad. And he was built, I don't know, man. He was just a big, short dude. He was not built like a skier. Again, everyone remembers him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I cannot think of a competition that had even a reasonable chance.
Well, they went and did a little polling here, and the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, most of America found them to be incredibly boring, believe it or not. That was the overall assessment of the Olympics. In a new poll, 68% of Americans say that the Summer Olympics are more interesting, while only 36% said the same about the Winter Games. People in the poll also said that the Summer Olympics were more inspiring, more beautiful, and even slightly more accessible. But here's the crazy thing. No one seems to be that impressed by people's athleticism. I don't think when you watch something and people make it look easy that you realize how much work and, just...
What have we always said? Like, and I mean, in any sports in particular, if it looks easy, there's a really good chance that the people performing the sport are really, really, really good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Bowling looks easy. Tennis looks easy. Darts looks easy. Pool looks easy. Everything. Michael Phelps made swimming fast look real easy.
People play tennis. Looks easy.
I think the difference, though, for the Winter Olympics is people don't fathom it because they don't do any of it.
Right, we rarely.
You know what I mean? Like when you watch the NFL every Sunday, like you've at least gone out in the front yard and thrown a football and been like, "Oh man, it's actually kind of hard to throw."
Everyone's run, everyone's tried to jump over something. If you watch hurdles,
right? It's hard. Like you can't fathom in the biathlon. Like number one, like how that little steep incline is massive because they're just on cross country skis,
right?
And then that man or woman has to calm all the way down and start shooting
firing
a
rifle.
gun.
That's not something we do day to day.
What percentage of Americans do you think said that they could compete in the Winter Olympics? When they asked them, could you compete? What percentage?
20.
I'm going to say 50.
50% said they thought they could
honestly
compete in the Winter Olympics. They didn't ask them to specify any sports. Curling's probably in there, maybe bobsledding. They did say that the most popular sports are ski jumping, figure skating, freestyle skiing, snowboarding, and speed skating. But yes.
Wait, as far as what they can compete in?
No, what they thought was most popular, but 50% said that they could find something they could do and actually compete. And I'm just like, I mean, people have lost their minds.
You might be invited to the Olympics, but I don't know that any of your quote-unquote competitors would consider you competition.
Yeah. Random.
Hello, Tanner. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Tanner, welcome to the random question. Let's see here.
Well, you guys are talking about the Olympics. I want to say, if you haven't seen Matt Hamilton, the curly for the USA team, his pictures, that's like USA goal. That's the goal.
Oh yeah, with the flow and the mustache and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the look, dude. I mean,
so awesome. There's so many memes off that guy now.
He's a guy you cheer. It wouldn't matter if he's curling or doing anything. You see him and you go, I want him to win.
I want to party with that guy.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, he looks like he can throw back some brews. All right, let's go with this random question. What condition do you just have to live with? What's going on with you that you just got better or for worse? You got to deal with?
Oh, Miles. Oh, God, everybody's listening, too. Oh, you had to ask it. Yeah, hemorrhoids.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, that sucks, man. I've been there. What?
Yo, dude,
still occasionally. Yeah,
dude, I've had 3 surgeries, Miles. It's brutal.
3?
I don't know. Yeah, 3. They've gone in, dude. It was like just a one and done, and there were 3, I guess, but they just went in, and he was like, hey, where did you have your colonoscopy done? I was like, sir, I had it done in this building. And he went, oh, And then he just pitter-pattered out of the room. And then he came back 5 minutes later and was just threw me a gown and was like, "We're going." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah." And there's that shoehorn and weird little telescopic thing. And yeah, they just...
Is it a shoehorn or a butt horn at that point?
What?
Is it a shoehorn or does it become a butt horn at that
I guess
point?
it would be technically Thrill would be a butt horn, but
What's,
they just, in through the nose, out through the mouth.
What causes?
They just kind of,
as far as your flare-ups go, what is the contributing factor typically?
They believe it was due to alcohol.
Okay,
really?
Yeah. Well, that makes. Because it basically thins your blood.
All right, so you've had 3 surgeries on this, you said. Now, is this something that they expect to recur, or do you have to keep going back and they just check up on it?
Yeah, they just go and check up on it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's not fun to live with. That's a fact. Reason we ask, what condition do you just have to live with? A Rhode Island man has been suffering from an extremely rare fungus-caused condition that literally causes black mold to grow in his brain.
Damn.
Tyson Botnus, he's 35 years old. He is only one of only 120 documented cases of infections with this exotic fungus known as black mold since 1911. In his case, the fungus made its home in the brain, causing all types of issues that he's been dealing with ever since symptoms began about 4 years ago. He's lucky to be alive, as black mold kills over 70% of its hosts. He's doing everything possible to fight, hopefully get it out of his brain. It's a tough battle. His ordeal began 4 years ago when he and his fiancée, Lisa, decided to celebrate their engagement by going cycling together in Costa Rica.
Oh, dear God, never do that.
Everything was well and good until the third day on their vacation when Tyson accidentally fell off his bike and scraped his left elbow. Wasn't the most serious injury, so he just rinsed it, bandaged the wound as best he could, and had it looked at by a nurse early the next morning. The nurse told him that cyclists came in with similar wounds all the time, and it was nothing to worry about. And indeed, his elbow healed quickly. And the two were able to continue their vacation, return to the U.S. Well, about 3 weeks after that, Tyson started experiencing some bizarre symptoms. Severe headaches, facial paralysis, and even laughing difficulties. Well, they contacted a doctor about the problem. He suggested an MRI, which showed a weird circle in the middle of his brain. And it was the beginning of a journey to identify that mysterious circle. Turns out, it was black mold.
Jesus.
And once the doctor found out about the vacation in Costa Rica, he tested for all kinds of things and found out that basically it's the same brain disease you could get by by eating raw pork.
Oof. Oh,
they tested for Lyme disease, tuberculosis, AIDS, multiple brain cancers. Everything came back negative. The 35-year-old was put on a treatment of oral antifungal medication and steroids to fight the swelling. Tests showed the antifungal medicine had failed to reach the brain because the human body's protective barrier would not allow it to get there. So either way, this guy's been dealing with some stuff.
Jeez, man. That is not what you expect to hear.
Not after you go on a nice vacation.
Right. Or you got black mold on your brain. That's what the problem is.
Fun trip.
Hello, Matthew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. How you guys doing today?
Hola. Well, Matthew, how are you, brother?
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
First time caller here.
All right, we're going to hit you with a doozy then. What is the strangest thing that's ever happened to your penis?
Oh, geez. The time when I got it stuck in a box. No, I'm kidding. That didn't really happen. When I was in my teenage years, I had some weird growth on it, but nothing I ever went to go see a doctor about. But I always thought it was kind of strange, like little white stuff, and eventually it just kind of went away.
We've heard other people say that, and I'm not sure what that...
I don't know.
Maybe a fungal infection? I'm not exactly sure.
I'm just glad to say that I'm not... I never had that experience, all right? Because I've heard that from other people. Like, I'm glad I don't know.
Well,
it didn't hurt or anything. It was just there, you know.
Have you ever had a venereal disease?
No.
Lucky. You're very lucky, man. Maybe I'm the one that's unlucky, but to me, that just seems like...
I think it's a bit of both. He's kind of lucky, but you're real unlucky. You know what I mean? He's kind of lucky to have escaped it, right? In the course of having sex, but you seem to have targeted the the place, fishing in the wrong swamp, so to speak.
I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Yeah. Did you guys hear about the skier Remy Lindholm from Finland?
About 500 people.
Yeah,
this today, man.
Not. He suffered a frozen penis during the men's cross-country skiing race in the Olympics. He even had to use a heat pack to thaw the thing out afterward. Remy said, quote, "It was one of the worst competitions I've ever been in. It was just about battling through. When the body parts started to warm up after the finish, the pain was unbearable." The 50-kilometer race was actually shortened to 30 and delayed by an hour because of how cold it was. For reference, 50 kilometers is about 31 miles. 30 is 18.6. They only did 18.6, but either way, he finished 28 out of 61 competitors. It was 4 minutes and 22 seconds away from first place. It's also worth mentioning, this was not Remy's first frozen penis.
What?
He had it happen last year during a skiing event in Finland. Basically, it's just those tights.
He's used to this.
And nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's enough for me to stop the sport.
Well,
that's not the thing I want to. You might have, tear an Achilles, concussions, not frozen penis.
You go outside right now. The sun is shining. It's
Sure.
41 degrees, but there is a cold wind blowing right now, and there's definitely a front coming in, so we know that. We step outside to smoke a cigarette. It's ridiculous. I mean, that's 41 degrees. I mean, their temperatures were negative like 20 and 15 during the race. So you think about that. You're only wearing tights. The wind is cutting through it, is what the guy said, basically.
Has there ever been a colder Olympics? You've had snowier ones, you've definitely had warmer ones, but as far as these temperatures that I keep hearing coming out of Beijing, I'm like...
That's what was wild. It was so cold, but it wasn't until the end they actually got snow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't recall ever hearing a Winter Olympics where it is so cold, it's unbearable.
So I just typed in coldest Olympics on record, and that goes to 1994, the 94 Winter Olympics in Lillehammer, Norway. Supposedly the coldest games on record with an unreasonably cold average high of 27 degrees Fahrenheit.
But that makes sense. It's Norway.
Still, man. I mean,
But maybe a frozen penis is just like taking a ball to the junk when you're playing baseball. Like, just part of the sport.
I would rather...
I mean, it is.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'd rather take a shot or I would rather have it...
I think I'd rather do the frozen penis because in his case, at least when he was done with the competition, he took like a hand warmer or something and just threw it on his Johnson. You go like, all right, you can slowly work this back to normal. You just take a ball to the junk. Like, the damage might be irreversible, man.
Have you ever put a hand warmer on your junk?
I haven't, but I'm getting more and more intrigued by it.
Oh, it's a great technique.
For what, skiing?
No, I used to coach in baseball. Like baseball starts in like early March, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes on the East Coast, it would still be freezing. But when you're like coaching first base, man, like you're not moving around in that wind. You're just on this open field. So I remember one kid had a bunch of hand warmers, and me and the head coach were like, "Hey, we need some of those." Like, I think we lied to him and said something like, "Well, if not every kid has them, is it right that you have?" Anyhow, we took like...
Wait, you guilt-tripped him because your penis was cold.
Well,
like
no,
what
happened was we each took a couple I think 4, right? So there's 2 in a pack, so 2 total, or 4 total. And then I had them in my pockets and in my back pockets. And then during 1.5 innings, the other coach was like, "Telling you right now, put them underneath your junk." And I was like, all right. So yeah, that's always been my trick since then.
Huh. I like that you guilted the kid. Hey, man, all these other kids don't have hand warmers. It's not fair that you have. My penis is warm.
Hey, he was learning.
While the kids were still cold, your penis is warm.
It wasn't the season yet. He was trying to make a team.
Okay.
We kept him. We didn't cut him.
Keep hand warmer guy, dude.
Exactly.
Just in case it gets cold. I rarely put myself in a position to be freezing cold, but when we went to that Chiefs game a couple years ago, it was 17 degrees. It was 19 degrees at kickoff, 17 degrees when we got there, and it was unusually cold, but everyone that lives in Kansas City, right, they'd leave their tailgates, walk up to us to say, "Look, man, gonna give you a trick," and they would give us hand warmers, and I started to put them in my gloves. We're like, "What are you doing?" With a hand warmer, like, "Dude, you got to put them in your shoes." They weren't kidding. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought about it, but they were all like, "Dude, they're not for your hand. Put your hands in your pocket." They're like, "Man, take these hand warmers, put them in your shoes," and it made a huge difference.
Your guess is as good as mine. On the way, our categories today include your favorite holidays, being that today is President's Day, and the smartest and dumbest states here in the United States. You are listening to The Men's Room.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.